Hi everyone. Today we are dealing with the third chapter of the first unit, Glimpses of Green. The whole unit highlights the relationship with nature, and our focus is on the chapter Lines Written in Early Spring, a poem by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth belongs to the Romantic Age, an era that emphasizes on nature, emotion, individualism, imagination and childhood. And as you know, Wordsworth is a nature poet, or widely known as a lake poet, and considers nature as his teacher, God, and above all a living thing. And to him, nature is pure soul, uncorrupted and almost spiritual. Now let's get into the poem. This is the poem titled Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. I'll read the poem and just listen carefully. Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hoped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but at least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? This composition by Wordsworth consists of 6 quatrains, rhyming A, B, A, B, and is in the form of a belly. The poem unfolds a world of beauty and happiness, and his concerns regarding the path the humanity is leading towards. Now let's see each stanza. These are the first lines, the first 4 lines of the poem, Lines Written in Early Spring. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. In this stanza, the poet is seen in a grove, in a wood, and he is in a very relaxed mood, sitting under the woods. But at the same time, as he is seen comfortable in a relaxed, happy mood, the thoughts of something disturbs him. The poet rejoices the sights, the sounds of nature, and at the same time laments on what man has made of man. He says that everything in nature is calm, it's quiet, but he finds solace and becomes much pleased in the music of woods. At the same time, some woeful thoughts come into his mind and becomes pensive. These are what is conveyed in these 4 lines. Going on to the next line. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. In the second stanza, we see that the poet has brilliantly used figures of speech, and as I said earlier, there is a rhyming scheme of A, B, A, B. Apart from that, you have alliteration in these 2 lines. In this line, the poet is saying that to her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran. He appreciates nature for the godlike abilities of linking a human soul to herself, and he also grieves while thinking about how cruelly man has separated himself from nature. And this is what the lines convey. Let's get into the next line. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Now he is describing the beautiful nature, and he says that the primrose, the green bower, the periwinkle, they are enjoying their nature. Here, the poet cherishes the nature's beauty and finds delight in the green bower and primrose and periwinkle. And he says that everything in nature enjoys the pleasure. And these are the visual images, olfactory image and personification which the poet has used to make it more enhancing and to make it appealing. The birds around me hoped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. After describing the beauty of nature with different kinds of flowers, now the poet has described the birds, and as he is looking around in the woods, he sees the birds, and he finds that, or he realizes that even the birds are enjoying the company of nature. And he says that they are hoping and playing around him, but at the same time he cannot understand their language and ways. But he could recognize from the movements of the birds that it is out of sheer pleasure and joy they are in nature. This is the explanations which you can see in the screen. The rhyming words played, made, measure, pleasure. The visual images are birds. The alliteration is but the least motion which they made. Now let's move to the next line. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Even here you can see the rhyming words fan, can, air, there, and the visual images are budding twigs and fan, and there's a tactile image which is breezy air. So the whole poem has all the features of the romantic era, which is beauty, imagination, nature, and considering nature as pure and uncorrupted soul. In this stanza, we see that the budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air. Here, the breeze flowing is sweet and light, and the twigs are spreading out as if to catch the air. Thus, the poet enhances the sublimity of the poem with the poetic device personification. In the next stanza, the last lines, if this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? These are the concluding lines of the poem, and here the poet asks a question, and the question is, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? The interesting aspect of this poem is that the perfection of nature saddens the poet. Melancholy sets in immediately, and because of the striking contrast between nature and humanity. Your poet seems to feel that it is his responsibility to ponder the mistakes of humanity, which is evident in the question which is posed in the last stanza, what man has made of man. The poet begins to have dark thoughts about humanity. So the entire poem, lines written in early spring by William Wordsworth, reminds the readers of the beauty of nature, the value of enjoying and appreciating nature, the existence, and how humans do all atrocities themselves and create discord and disharmony. Thank you.